Hey everyone, welcome to Weld.com. As you guys already know me, all the newcomers, welcome. I'm Man Cub. Today we're going to be talking about stick welding with 7018. Khalid Clark messaged me the other day. He said, hey, Man Cub, Mike Beecher, hey, I'm having problems sticking my rods. He's using 7018. You got any quick tips to help me? So stick around, guys. We're going to do a little bit of quick tips. I know some new school tricks and old school tricks. All right, we're going to take this all the way back to basics because Khalid don't know nothing about welding. He's learning. So I'm going to take this all the way back where you're hooking your machine up. So we're going to go ahead and act like we're hooking this machine up. We're acting like we're putting the dens in here. Well, a lot of problems I see is these come loose on you. Well, this is going to create a hot spot and your power travels through this. And it's going to reduce the power to your 7018 rod. And it's going to give you a bad ground connection. And also when you strike the arc, it's going to mess up the current. So you always want to make sure this is tight. It's going to come undone eventually too, because this heats up. Metal heats up, it's going to contract. When the metal cools down, it gets colder. Well, over time, that's going to work itself loose. Always check this once in a while and make sure this is tight, all right, on the positive side. Especially here, make sure your connections are good, clean. Take this off, inspect it. I see like this, got a little arc right here. Make sure that's clean. Take a wire brush, clean it. All right. We're trying to avoid everything. So that's with the positive side. So over on the negative side, same thing. I see this is always sometimes loose. Like I just reach over there, and half the time I see this is loose. And a lot of people say, "Oh, my ground's hooked to my base metal." What I mean by base metal is hooked right here. All right. Yeah, you can have it hooked and everything looks fine, but I see a lot of corrosion and a lot of arc marks right here. All right, when there's a lot of arc marks, it's black and it's not going to give a good connection. I usually take a file, get all the spatter and BBs off from its arcing, and I just go like that until I see bright clean metal. You want to see bright clean metal. All right, it takes 2 minutes to clean it up. After I get the irregulars down, like the BBs and all that, I just take a wire brush and clean it until it's completely silver. All right, you can see there's spatter right here. You know, I'm trying to eliminate all the possibilities. I'm having problems, I'm stuck. There's spatter right there, all right? You wanna get all that off. So this one's actually very clean, so I'm gonna leave that on there. Also, while we're talking about the ground, a lot of people leave the mill scale on. If you're having problems, clean the mill scale off, hook it right to it. Also, the plates on the let's say the plate's just on the table like this, and you got your ground right here. Well, that current still gotta go through here, and it will vibrate too while you're welding. So, and also that's going to give you a bad startup. So clean your mill scale off, and also just put a clamp on here. All right. If you have a junk table, you can tack to the table. If you got a nice tapping slot, don't tack in it because Bob's watching from the sky. All right. Just put a clamp on it and tighten it down. All right. That's just setting the machine up. All right. Just by hooking your wires up, you're going to increase your chance just by doing that. Let's talk about hot start. This machine has a hot start. So on this machine, you basically, on this rogue right here, you push it, hold that in for a couple seconds. So it goes to 1 to 10, but each number, like number 1 is 10%. So each time you go up, like number 2 is 20%, number 3 is 30%. All right, let's say we set this to, we got our 88 amps, all right? I'm at 88 amps. I forgot to hold it in, hot start. So we're gonna jump up to, I'm already at max 10. Let's jump up to 20. So that's 20%. All right, let's say 25% because that's what I did off the thing. So you got 85 amps. 25% of 85 amps is 21 amps. So that will add 21 amps to 85. All right, that's what your hot start is. So you're when you strike an arc, you're gonna see it like a little erratic at first. Your hot start, it's going to increase your amps by 21 amps of 85. And you'll see it kind of get erratic, and that will increase your chance of not sticking the rod. All right, it's going to do it for like 3 or 4 seconds. All right, some machines you can increase the time. Some machines are automatically programmed. This one's automatically programmed. That's nice. All right, Khalid. So you got to know your machine. So on this ESAB 235 Rebel, so we're over in stick mode. We're gonna come over here and P. I already talked to you about not having the machine on 6010 and 6011. You have it on all electrodes. Let me push that. All right, we're gonna go to hot start. See how it says hot start right here? This machine has hot start. So I like to run mine between 5 to 15, depends how cold and hot it is outside. So let's say it's 25%. It's easier for me because I did the math earlier. Let's say it's 25%. So 25% of 85 amps is 21 amps. So that's going to increase you by 21 amps of, basically you take 85 plus 21. So that's going to increase you by up to 101 amps. Some machines has a timer. You can set it for 3 seconds to 5 seconds. This machine don't have a timer. All right, so it's probably going to set you about 3 to 5 seconds. You're going to notice it because it's going to get really hot really quick, and then it's going to go away. So that's going to increase your chances of starting that arc. All right, so that's the hot start mechanism. I'm not going to be running this machine, so that's it on this machine. We're going to jump back over to the mini arc force over here, and we're going to run a bead on there. All right, I'll show you different techniques. All right, so before we go ahead and start welding, so you want to have good clean base metal. All right, even if you hook your ground to your table, you got to be cognate where you're going to basically put your ground. If you got rust on your table, clean it with a grinder. All right, hit it with this and get it completely silver. All right, once you got that done, move over to your base plate and clean the mill scale. I even clean the mill scale on the back side so I have good contact on my table, and also make sure your table's clean when you set your piece of metal down. Also, there's a couple more here, or one more. If you just set your metal down like this and you go ahead and weld on it, well, that metal will arc out and you're going to lose amps for a second, and it's going to make you stick. Take a clamp and put it on there and tighten it down. All right. All right, Cleve. So once you got all this done, so we're almost to striking an arc. So what you do is you need to kind of practice without the stinger in your hand. You don't want it hot or anything. So you basically imagine we drew a line right here. You basically strike it like a match. If you ever struck a match on a book, like not on a book, but a book like it's matches. So I just basically strike it very lightly. You don't want to like that. All right, that's very bad. All right, be comfortable, and I get it right where I'm like an 1/8 inch away from the base metal, and I just take my time. Don't be in a hurry and try to scratch it like crazy. All right, be patient and just barely scratch it very lightly. Sometimes you get it starting up on these rods. Sometimes you get them starting up before, like, soon as you like barely touch the surface, it fires up. I mean, sometimes I don't even feel it, and you just kind of strike it. All right, very lightly, and it usually fires up. 99% of the time, it fires up. All right, and you won't get stuck. And that's one method. Another method is you could tap it. You said you were doing that. All right. But all the other things I just talked about, try them if that's going to help on your tap method. Some other times if I stick and I just kind of break it loose, like tilt it over a lot, and it'll help fire off, because you got a gap right here, and it'll help. Sometimes it fires off, and you could do that, and basically it'll help you too. That's only if I get stuck. If I get stuck, I try to increase my chances. I have one more chance. I just bend it over and help. See if it helps, it'll fire off. All right. Also, another one is a lot of people, let's say you have flux right here. Your flux is gone right here. See that flux? Yeah, you gotta burn that away before you go ahead and strike your arc. It's gonna stick. Every time you strike an arc, it's like, One way you're not gonna get that stick if you crank your machine up high and go ahead and weld. But that's gonna be all erratic. You don't have that flux. All right, so what you do to get rid of that is you either take a grinder, cut it off, get a pair of dikes. All right, in this case, I'm just going to cut it off with this Victor grain furred wheel. So I just grind it, cut it off. Then I reshape it. Some came back, that's all right. Now I just reshape it. I make sure I have the metal showing a little bit, all right? But you want the flux over that metal. Since we got rid of the bare metal right there, you want to take it where it's nice and got the flux on there. It's nice and clean, all right? I kind of taper that a little bit where that metal is showing a little bit, like 30 seconds, extruding the flux. So that's how I like it. I kind of roll it with a flapper wheel. It's easier with a flapper wheel. If you use aggressive wheel, it kind of breaks the flux off again. All right, that's how I like it, and that's going to help you start out. All right, so let's go ahead and strike an arc, and let's practice a little bit. All right, make sure you're comfortable, all right? Practice a little bit. Like, what I mean practice is, yeah, I mean, get comfortable, visualize where you're going to strike the arc at, keep it inside your joint. If it's outside your joint, it's not good. Inspectors will fail you if you have arc straight on your base metal, on the outside of your joint, right on the face, all right? Basically visualize it. I strike about 1/4 inch of where I'm going to start at, like in front of it, where you're going to start, all right? Like let's say I'm going to strike an arc, strike an arc about right here. Then I kind of come over here and kind of trace, like I'm going to kind of trace this end and come out and establish my puddle, all right? All right, when you strike your arc, kind of long arc it, but not keep it kind of far away. I mean, not keep it really far away, because when you long arc it, the amps will increase a little bit, and you got to heat that rod up, all right? You're preheating that rod. So, all right, so here we go. Look at that, see how good that fired up? Then I just keep my rod at least 1/8 inch away from the base metal or tighter. And all we're doing is there. All right, if you want to practice your restarts, run halfway down this joint, stop, and fire back up. All right, here's another tip. See how there's a flux over that now, and that 7018 leaves that little, I don't know exactly what it's called, but it covers it up, the flux wheel. It was liquid and it covers that bare metal up. All right, I always usually have a file. You either take a file, I think it's easier with a file. You take a file, just go like this. You know what I mean? I usually just have it like this and go like this a couple times. You're showing that, see how that metal cleaned up again? Or you go like this, go like that. Sometimes that way you could do. I'm just showing you different ways. Just do what you think works best for you. All right? That's another mistake you could be doing, of having a hard time firing up. All right, so let's go ahead and fire that up. We're doing a restart. So we're gonna do the tap method. The method I did was like striking a match. So we're gonna do a little tap method. All right, I don't have no arc strike. I'm running about 90 amps. All right, so I'm gonna start about 1/4 inch, like I'm gonna start about right here and just retrace my puddle where I stopped at. All right. Make sure you're comfortable, do a little dry run. All right, don't be in a hurry. Also, see if you get electric hood if that's your problem too. All right, so we're gonna do a little tap method. Be gentle with it. See how it broke away? I just kind of twisted it and did it. And I'm just going like that. See, the tap method didn't work on me that one, but I broke it away at 90 a little bit, or at a 45, just bent it over. Then bent it over, and then the arc started again as soon as I bent it over, because you're creating a gap right here. I mean, it started, not again, but it started. All right. Perfectly, I don't like the tap method. Some people do. All right. Look at the specs of the rod. All right. This will tell you if you go to Weld.com, or sometimes they got the listing right here. This one, actually, this one tells you it's 80 to 110 amps. All right. We're on the high side of the rod if you're learning. If you're having problems striking. So I'm going to be below. So I'm going to start at 62. So I'm going to have problems striking it right here. I mean, starting the arc. So here, this is going to go on. See, look, I stuck. So I'm going to kind of break it away, see if it fires. See, it won't fire. I'm running cold. Having problems. All right, the only way I'm going to get this started, if I long arc it, I'm going to increase my amps a little bit. See, I long arced it, but it's way too cold. All right, and you're going to get porosity. I'm going to show you again, increase your amps. Let's go to 110. You're going to see how erratic it's going to start a little bit because I'm on the high side of the rod. I'm running 110 amps. All right. Got that clean. All right, so we're going to start right here. I'll show you how easy it fires up. Let's get rid of this rod. I'll show you how easy it fires up. I don't even have to try really. All right. Here we go. Visualize where you're going to strike, get close, and think about it before what you're going to do. See, look at that. Look how easy that was. All right, and get back in there and keep your arc tight. All right, you see that? Money there. That's what you want. All right, soon as I would do that like 150 times until you start feeling the way you like to strike your arc. All right, I like to strike it like a match. Okay, that's good. Once you get that, turn it down a little bit. I like running between 88 to 90, depends what I'm doing here. So yeah, that's definitely gonna help you, that 70-18, doing it like that, all right? So when you're on a 60-10 setting, your rod more likely will stick to your base metal more. See, look, it's stuck. See, it's gonna give me problems to start, see? See? That might be one of your problems. All right, on the new machines, you gotta have it switch over to 70-18. I hope you all enjoyed this movie. Definitely these tips are going to definitely help you. I had fun doing it. These are new school and old school tricks. They're not all taught in the book. So I'm Man Cub, learning is key, and see you guys on the next episode.